Hey everybody, this is Dalek44
And this is BorisFangirl.
And we're bringing you another commentary of the two of us together after God knows how long.
Right.
Because the last one we did was of the second co-episode, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this time we're going to do a commentary on the Wind in the Willows review we did together a few years ago.
Oh man, it was an oh so long time ago.
Oh yeah. And it was quite a fun review for us to do together.
Yeah, it was also fun drawing myself in that little style that I do.
Yeah, and it's a really good drawing you've done. Or should I say
you.
drawings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is also the first and so far only time I've worn my smart jacket in a review.
Awesome.
Yeah, because the jacket actually comes from a suit that I normally wear at special occasions like weddings and funerals and other things like that.
Hey, I guess you gotta dress fancy for something like this.
Yeah, I really wanted to dress fancy like for inspiration from Toad.
Of course, because Toad dresses fancy.
Yeah, since he likes to wear jackets and like vest jackets.
Indeed.
And I couldn't really be bothered to do a proper suit and tie thing, so I just did a white shirt and a vest.
I guess that works.
Yeah, it looks almost like what Toad would wear.
Definitely. Hey, fan artist, get on that.
And this was a show that I've wanted to review for a while because it was one of my childhood favourites growing up.
That's good. And because I'm also a fan of the show and the book, I thought it would be fun to do it too.
Yeah, and I'm glad I asked you to join me.
Yep, and thank you.
Pleasure. And of course I had to mention the various other shows that Cosgrove Hall worked on because Cosgrove Hall has a huge legacy of animated shows they did in the 80s to the early 2000s.
Awesome.
And they even worked on the revamped Postman Pat after the original series.
It's still good.
Yeah, it's still good. And I didn't really say the names of some of the other shows that came after Danger Mouse and Count Duckula because though most of them were current and I didn't feel like I needed to say their names.
That's fair.
Like, though I will say this about Roy the Racing Car, it is hilarious and awesome that Peter Kay's in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Peter Kay actually played one of the main characters in the show.
Cool.
Yeah. And when we were writing the script for the review, we both thought it'd be fair if we took it in turns to talk about the characters.
Indeed.
Yeah. And it's quite sad news that a lot of the original actors, like the actors for Mole, Badger, and most recently Peter Sellers passed away, isn't it?
Of course. Which is... It's a tragic loss, but it's not as shocking, because he was 96.
Yes, that's a pretty good age to live.
Indeed.
And there have been other actors that have lived longer than Peter.
Yeah, like June Foray, she's almost 100.
Wow. That's amazing. And the bit where I talk about how Batty was voiced by a different actor in the movie, and you say who knew, and then just say that you actually did know, but you were playing along.
Yeah, that was improvised.
Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting you to say that, but I thought it was really funny that you did, so I decided to keep it in.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it when other people I work with improvise, like HuskyFan41. He improvises a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, I kind of describe him as like the Alexei Sale of YouTube.
Interesting.
For those of you who remember the young ones.
Of course.
Yeah. And when we talked about Toad, I had to chime in with a few words because David Jason's a really good actor and one of my favourites.
Indeed. I actually had him in mind for a character that I created at one point.
Oh, really?
There, really?
And back when I was a kid, I honestly had no idea that was David Jason voicing Toad, because when you hear David Jason these days, you're usually used to hear him playing like Cockney type characters from London, like Del Boy and Granville from Open All Hours. So it's kind of surprising that you see him playing a posh character.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. Posh characters are fun.
Yeah. And I also had to bring up the fact that Sir Michael Hordern used to narrate Paddington back in the 70s.
That was a good role.
Yeah, because it was another one of the roles he was really famous for.
I will say that one of my favorite Sir Michael Hordern roles is the wise man from Jim Henson's Labyrinth.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know he was in that.
Oh, he was. And Timothy Bateson, the voice of OJ on Tugs.
Wow. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it?
Indeed. If you get the chance, go check out Jim Henson's Labyrinth. It's super 80s, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I will have to go check it out now you mention it.
Awesome.
Oh, and I love this bit with the grumpy me talking to you about me being like Badger.
Yeah. And the disguise that's totally not me.
Yeah. Yeah, just wearing a moustache and a hat and sunglasses saying, totally not BorisFangirl. That was brilliant.
Thanks. And the knocking that you're hearing, that's from the wood that's on my daybed.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, when I heard the recording, I honestly assumed that you got up and started recording in front of the door.
Nope, I was actually just sitting down.
Wow, we learn something new every day.
Indeed.
And the glasses I was wearing in this sequence is actually my reading glasses. I normally only have to wear these when I'm reading something.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I often go to Specsavers for eye checkups, and there's nothing really wrong with my eyesight. I can see perfectly, but I really do need them for reading.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And this little sketch we did was just to bring up a point that kind of confused me these days. Like, they say Badger hates company, and he actually brings it up in the movie, as well as the Rankin Bass version, and yet he spends time with his friends throughout the show and just has no problem with it.
I guess it depends on which company you're actually talking about. Like, he has to warm up to someone a little bit before deciding who to hang out with.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Because they do something like that in the Rankin Bass version with Mole.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, because in the Rankin Bass version, Badger was already friendly with Ratty, but not very familiar with Molly.
Yeah, of course. After the song you sung, I Hate Company.
Yeah, a song which I used for one of the TTT episodes for Cranky the Crane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had that idea for TTT for a long time, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity to use it for that episode.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I picture Cranky in my series as the kind of person who hates other people being around him.
Right. Introvert.
Yeah. And when I was doing the research for Wind and the Willows, I actually found it surprising that David Jason also voiced Billy the Little Bunny Rabbit.
So yes, Billy was voiced by Sir David Jason.
That's adorable.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because when you listen to Billy's voice in the show, it don't really sound like any other voice you may have heard from David Jason in the past.
Yeah, in a way, you're right.
Yeah, because you normally expect him to just use his like regular voice that you're familiar with.
Of course, like Sterling Holloway from most of the Disney movies he was in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the reason for my reviewing this show came about was from after I bought the complete box set for Wind in the Willows in HMV.
Awesome.
Yeah, that normally happens with inspiration for these old shows. I buy them on DVD or watch them on YouTube or whatever, and I get inspired to review them and get my opinions out on them.
That's cool.
Yeah. And with new movies that come out, I like to wait for their Blu-ray release before reviewing them.
Hey, yeah, for me, I usually wait until either the movie comes out on DVD or when it's on Hulu or Netflix or something like that.
Yeah. Hence the reason why I haven't reviewed the Lego Batman movie yet.
That's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, but that is gonna come out soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and for those other Batman fans out there, I'm going to dedicate the Lego Batman movie review to the late Adam West, since he's officially part of the Batman family.
Indeed.
So it's only fair to dedicate the movie review to him.
That's very thoughtful.
Indeed. And when we talk about some of our favourite episodes, like Wayfarer's All, after watching that episode a couple of times, I realised that the voice of the seafaring rat was the same voice for Igor in Count Duckula. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was just that same deep, posh, upper-class voice.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and of course the highlight of the episode for me was the Wayfarer's All song, because it's such a epic sounding sailor song.
Sea rover, I shall always be. 10,000 stars for company.
That is brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a great song in the show, because it starts off as being like a typical sailor song, and then after an instrumental bit it just turns into something epic with the echoes in the background.
Indeed.
Yeah,
this shows that the seafaring rat may not really be real. Like, it's actually an apparition of Ratty's inner desires.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing to talk about, isn't it?
Indeed.
And of course the Chief Weasel and his henchmen were inspirations for some of the villains in Second Co.
Cool.
As I bring up in the review.
Yes. Oh, we couldn't even steal a lollipop from a baby.
Yeah. Shut up, you idiot.
Ow! Chief!
Yeah, meet a hook. Yeah, who needs to use their fists when you've got a hook?
Have you and Robert Gotch talked about in your commentary of the Cyber's love story?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to bring up the inspiration because I realised that there were some people out there who may not have heard of the Wind in the Willows show.
Yeah, but now that we both reviewed it, more people are aware of it and they're able to check it out, if possible.
Yeah. And with the ending bit, when I asked you to say goodnight everybody like Dot Warner, that just came up at the last minute while I was writing. Oh, and the cute little you as Dot Warner drawing.
Yeah, I just had to put that in somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to write that in as well, because obviously Dot Warner's one of my favourite characters.
She's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, and
like, I've had 24 years to practice her voice.
Yeah, and you do such a great job at voicing her too.
Thank you.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Tony Danza?
Really?
No, I'm just practicing.
Yeah. And with the ending credits for the review, I wanted to make it look similar to how the ending credits of the show was, like where it's like a book turning and the names of the people in like black frames.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. Had a bit of inspiration from watching the actual episodes to practice.
Awesome.
And that's pretty much it for the commentary for our Wind in the Willows review. And until the next review or whatever video I do, we'll see you later, folks.
Janet!